Today, as I'm standing here, we have the most secure border in the history of this nation. And the numbers prove it.
U.S. President Donald Trump's border czar Tom Homan touted the administration's immigration crackdown on Monday, despite concerns over due process, as photos of 100 charged or convicted people were displayed on the White House lawn. U.S. Border Patrol arrested 7,200 migrants illegally crossing the border in March, the lowest monthly total since 2000, and down from a peak of 250,000 in December 2023. However, deportations remain below last year's levels under President Joe Biden, when there were more people illegally crossing the border who could be quickly returned. Though Trump has moved to strip legal immigration status from hundreds of thousands of people, increasing the pool of those who can potentially be deported. Democrats and civil rights advocates have criticized Trump's heightened enforcement tactics, including the cases of several U.S. citizen children recently deported with their parents, including one with a rare form of cancer, according to the American Civil Liberties Union. Homan blamed the parents for putting their children at risk of deportation by remaining in the U.S.
If you choose to have a U.S. citizen child, knowing you're in this country legally, you put yourself in that position.
On Friday, U.S. officials arrested a Wisconsin judge and charged her with helping a man in her court briefly evade immigration authorities. That triggered backlash from immigrant rights advocates who raised concerns that immigrant victims may not feel safe in courthouses. Homan defended the arrest, saying the administration would enforce laws prohibiting harboring of a person in the U.S. illegally.
You will be prosecuted, judge or not.
The administration is now preparing to target cities and states that limit cooperation with federal immigration enforcement. White House spokesperson Caroline Leavitt said Trump is signing an executive order Monday that calls for the Attorney General to identify cities and states failing to comply with federal immigration laws.
Are you concerned that due process, at least for the U.S. citizen children, is being flouted, and that the speed at which the enforcement is being done could lead to errors, as was the case in the Kilmar Abreu Garcia case?
First of all, I don't accept the term error in Abreu Garcia. There was an oversight. There was a withholding order. But things have changed. The facts around the withholding order has changed. He is now a terrorist, wishing the withholding order set aside. And the gang he was fearing from being removed to El Salvador no longer exists. So the facts around that case are totally different. I'll let the lawyers litigate that. But as far as the three USC kids, I'd said from day one that if you enter this country legally, it's a crime. If you remain in this country legally and you ignore a judge's order about deporting, if you choose to have a U.S. citizen child, knowing you're in this country legally, you put yourself in that position. You put your family in that position. What we did is remove children with their mothers who requested the children depart with them. This was a parental decision, parenting 101. The mothers made that choice. And I tell you what, if we didn't do it, the story today would be Trump administration separating families again. No, we're keeping families together. So when a parent says, I want my 2-year-old baby to go with me, we made that happen. They weren't deported. We don't deport U.S. citizens. The parents made that decision, not the United States government. This administration is doing the right thing. Every public safety threat we arrest from this country and remove them, this country is much safer. So parents will make a decision what happens to their child. Having a U.S. citizen child does not make you immune from our laws. If that's the message we send the entire world, enter the country legally. It's a crime. Don't worry about it. Get order removed by an immigration judge. Don't worry about it. No one's looking for you. And have a U.S. citizen child, and you're immune from our laws, you're never going to fix the border. People will keep putting themselves in harm's way. More women would die. More children would die crossing this border. We got a secure border by enforcing our laws. We're not making this up. We're enforcing laws under statute enacted by Congress, and it's the right thing to do.
Can you give an update on the deportation numbers under this administration?
Mr. Homan.
What are you asking for? We just provided the numbers.
On the number of deportations that have occurred under this administration, whether you're pleased with that.
Last number I got was 139,000 deportations. Am I happy with the number? Numbers are good. Especially if you look at the ICE numbers. The ICE arrest removals are far beyond Biden. But I read the media, oh, ICE, the deportations are behind Biden administration. Well, why? Because they counted border removals. We don't have 10.5 million people crossing the border. We don't have border removals. So Joe Biden could have deported 5% of his encounters, and numbers will still be higher than us on the border removals because we have a secure border, the most secure border in the history of this nation. Compare apples to apples, ICE arrests and deportations are far more than Joe Biden.
That's right.
Mr. Homan, talking about the border wall, can you give us an update as far as how many miles are being built today? And is Mexico paying for it, as the president said they were going to? Is that what you're saying?
Let's address that. Trump said Mexico will pay for the wall. They have in a roundabout way, have they not? Putting 10,000 military on the northern and southern border, taking the action they did remain in Mexico. They didn't have to do that. They're doing it. Putting military on the southern border. Have moved illegal immigration to a record low. We're saving millions of dollars every day on detention, transportation, removal proceedings. We've more than made up for the cost of that wall because of the actions of Mexico. So is Mexico helping build that wall? Yeah, because we're saving so much money, millions of dollars a day, that we can afford to build that wall. So actually, yes, they're helping to build the wall.